For those of you that are here for the first time, a warm welcome. And I want to invite you into my home, invite you into my heart and these practices that I share with this community. And they're all based around self-love. That's what I realized as I'm making my notes for the class and preparing. I realized that everything that I put out there, be it to regulate your nervous system, to keep your body fit and strong and flexible and your posture good so you can receive and give all the love that you are, or practices that connect you to your heart and to keep it full and open. It's all about self-care, self-love, self-appreciation, self-praise, self-expansion, and in the end, self-liberation, self-realization. So it's funny to see that over 25 years now I've been interested in this work. How can we find more freedom from the constraints, either in our limiting beliefs, in our limiting feelings, or limited posture, behaviors, and actions in our body that keep us small and tight. And today the session is going to be all around that, how to free stagnant energy from our body, how to brush ourselves so we increase circulation, improve the quality of our skin, which is our biggest organ, and also how to detox and let go of what no longer serves us. And if you don't have access yet to my prior ones, if you haven't seen them, please go to my YouTube page channel and to my website, because there's 2 more sessions I've done on massage that are really good, and I got to publish them there. So my YouTube channel and my website are both on my teachers page on Insight, and I'll just send you there and you can take a look. They're free, you can download them and access them anytime. So let's get started, shall we? If you have any questions, please put them in the chat and I will answer them as we go. I have all my tools with me here. I'm going to show you all the steps that I use to keep the oils warm as we use them, because warm oil on the body is much better than cold oil, especially in the winter. And I will share with you also the brush that I have and the specific benefits of brushing on dry skin, which is different than exfoliating on wet skin. So let's get started. The brush that I have, which I have for a number of years now, is made of natural bristle. I recommend something natural, not plastic made for the bristle. And I would prefer that it has no edge, so it's just my hand. See that you can use this handhold here, but the handle is quite nice when we're gonna do the back. So that's why, but I tried to pull it out and I couldn't, and I wish it did come off and had the option to have a handle that you can place and remove. So make sure that as you look for a brush that is natural bristles, sometimes animal, sometimes natural, and you can see that it's a little bit, it feels a little bit scratchy, but that's how it's going to remove that very soft outer layer. Not completely, not like a big exfoliation, but it's going to take care of softening and removing some tightness around the most outer layer of the skin. So why do we want to dry brush? The physical benefits I'm going to talk about first: increase the circulation, the blood flow, and you may feel some or see some redness after the brushing. To think and remember that the skin is our biggest organ and it doesn't get so much attention. It gets in and looks dehydrated, sometimes dry, brittle, and it is from which we absorb the most toxins, if you think about it, besides what we eat, but anything that we are exposed to, dust, the sun, anything that makes our skin sometimes feel oily, or even, I don't know if you notice, sometimes you're taking a shower and you notice in areas of your body the skin kind of like peels off. It needs to be shed, and we rarely do that unless you have a whole exfoliating routine. So the brush is a nice way to improve the circulation and blood flow. and create that gentle exfoliation that won't be too deep. It won't be, sometimes if you exfoliate too deeply, you might remove layers that are beneficial and microbiome that is beneficial. So the other thing, which is the most well-known fact about dry brushing, is the lymph drainage. So lymph nodes that we have all around our body and the lymph that circulates in our body wants to be sometimes detoxed, flushed, and drained. There's really good massage techniques that specialize in this, and with the brushing we can do some of that ourselves. So that's one of my favorite benefits of the dry brushing. Also, it improves the appearance of your skin. It looks more radiant, more glowing. It might reduce some of the signs of cellulite. So especially if you work with it on your legs and your belly and your breasts, you will see that difference. It supports the fascia. So whenever you feel tightness or tension, sometimes it's not the muscle, it's the fascia layers that surround everything in our body, and they get tight and they get dehydrated. So with the brushing, we also support fascia suppleness and softness. And last but most importantly for me that I work with the nervous system so much, brushing increases parasympathetic activation of the nervous system. So I'll say that again in simpler words. Moves you from fight or flight into rest and digest. It moves you from reacting, being jumpy on edge, to being calmer, to being more at peace, to be more responsive to life. And who doesn't want some of that, right? So you will notice sensations after brushing that are quite interesting. They are on the skin level, but also deeper in the circulation level and in the nervous system level. So it's a very nice, very quick way to access all of that, perhaps 2-3 minutes of your time. It can be a really nice practice, and maybe that's why it's so ancient, especially in the Ayurvedic tradition, in the tradition from India and Ayurvedic medicine. Okay, let's see. I have some comments in the chat. Hi Lorette, hi Anders, hi Inge, Ginger, hello. Van says, I started brushing with a brush from the dollar store, and after about 3 weeks I started getting bumps on the back of the thighs. Yeah, I recommend that if you're gonna practice this, invest in a good brush. Invest in something that is not made out of plastic, that it has natural fibers. I don't know why you be getting those bumps. No idea. I'm not a doctor. I should say that right away. Disclaimer, this is not medical advice. But anything that you put on your skin, you have to be cautious of the quality of it. Also, don't overdo it. Anything that you overdo will give you a reaction right away. So your body's telling you less is more here. Okay? Too much of a good thing can become a bad thing over time. So measure your reactions and see if it's too much. Like once I got really excited into exfoliating with what is it called, loofah, and I would get redness. My skin is very sensitive. That was too much for me. And I don't do the brush every day, by the way. I do it maybe 2-3 times a week. Yeah, we don't know. That's the thing. But my main, if I was a preacher, which I'm not, I would say you can heal yourself. You know, your divine intelligence is present in your body. The life that made your body from the one cell into the walking miracle you are today, knows what you need. And it's that disconnect over time that we have stopped trusting and even stopped asking our body, what do I need? Is this okay for me? Is this too much? We maybe have a little bit of that with food. Some of us, that if you have too much sugar, you feel, oh, I'm craving sugar. So this is a downward spiral. Or if you, I don't know, are sensitive to alcohol or caffeine, you can see the effects that it has on you the night off and the day after. But so many times we forget to check in with ourselves. We forget that we know better. So have that moment with yourself where you ask, is this a good practice for me? And how much is too much? Okay? Last bit of information before we start using it is, after you can do this before the shower. It's the best time, because then you will take a shower. You want to do it on dry skin, and you will detox a little bit from it, so you can take a shower right away and then apply the oil and do the massage. Today we're gonna do it right after the brushing, but ideally you brush and then take a shower. Okay, a nice warm shower. You can finish with a splash of cool and get that nice circulation also in your body. All right, any questions? No? Okay, so it's a little chilly here, so I have my shawl, and I want to show you a couple things. I want to show you that you want to be thinking of direction towards the heart when you're moving lymph, thinking that the lymph wants to move towards the heart, right? So we typically begin with the feet and then with the arms. So you're going to be placing yourself in such a way where you can brush from the feet, and I'm going to do it here, but you can do it standing, from the feet towards the heart. And you're going to do light strokes. And of course the heart is up here, but you're going to move towards the groin, right? In layers, in lines towards your groin. And I'm going to make myself more comfortable. So from the feet in the direction of the center of your body all the way, every line. And this is where, ladies, when you're doing this, of course, in your naked body, you can feel the tingling on the skin all the way towards the glutes, all the way on the back. Okay, and you feel a little bit of like a scratchy sensation, but it's not painful. It's simply moving things around. You can do one leg, takes a few seconds, maybe a minute, and then the other leg from the foot in the direction of the middle of your body. Okay, as if you're moving. You can imagine you're moving something. By the way, we use brushes for the body and for the face, but they don't mix. So the brush you use for your body, you don't use for your face. If you're gonna do face brushing, you need two brushes. And see that I'm not being too detailed about it, but I'm thinking lines all the way towards the middle. And you want to spend a lot of time here in the groin, because we have a lot of lymph nodes around this area. Okay, so you want to brush from the lower belly up and down. So you center, you think of the lymph nodes being around here in the groin, and you want to move from the lower belly towards and the back. Now, my favorite part, I know you want to cover the whole body, but because we hold so much tension always around the shoulders, my favorite when it comes to massage and brushing has to do with all the space around here and on the shoulders and on the back. So how do we do that? You take your arm and lightly brush towards the heart, imagining the layers of the skin that are getting stimulated. Especially when it comes to the armpit, because we have a lot of lymph nodes in the armpit. And then towards the ribs. And I recommend you take a lot of time with one side first, meaning complete the one side, so then you feel the difference with the other side. It's very quick, but it gets some sort of moving the chi sensation, moving the energy. And now we're gonna do the other side. Same idea, you begin with the hand, as if you're moving something. You're moving any stagnant energy there, you're moving the lymph, you're suppling, you're softening the fascia. It's like a nice little tickle. And then on the back. And towards the heart, towards the center of your body. From the center, from the top of the shoulders down towards the belly. Maybe you can see some redness appearing on my skin right away, right? From the circulation, but it's not gonna stay. It's not gonna stay. And now when it comes to the back, I'll show you. You can grab the handle and same idea. Down, down, neck, down. From the up, from the... Okay? Then your neck, gentle. See what it feels like to you. It's gentle pressure. We're not scrubbing. It's simply like a gentle caressing. Okay? And then you're done with your brushing. And it took maybe about 2 or 3 minutes. And this would be the time when you take your shower and you flush all that out with the water. Okay, and you let the water cleanse if there's any skin that wants to go. Any questions about that? Is it all clear? How did it feel? If you did it, I hope you had a brush and you're not just watching, but if you had a brush and we're doing it together for the first time, what does it feel now? Both at the touch and also the sensations. So good, right? Yeah. Wonderful, Ginger. Thank you so much. I would say 1 time through the whole body is enough. Though it feels really great, it's something that you don't need to do too much. I thought you had to use circular motion. Yeah, there's areas like here where you can use circular motion, around here, around the lymph, right? But I like to follow lines throughout. I'm sure there's many ways to do it. Okay, this is what I imagine when I'm doing it, and this is my own way, what I've experimented with. I imagine like a star, like rays moving through the whole body, down and up. So imagine the rays of the legs into the groin and the rays or lines of the body into the heart. And this is a 2-way circulation. So I imagine that, and if I think of a circle, it would be more like an elliptic shape that way. But of course, if doing a circle, say around your heart or around your belly, I may do a circle around my belly sometimes. Feels really good. Experiment with it. But think of this movement towards the heart and away from the heart. This is in general the movement we think about with both massaging and brushing. So maybe you want to do a series of circles towards the heart or circles away. It depends on how big your brush is too. For me, with this one, it's really hard to do a lot of circles unless they're big circles. So I may do that as well. Let's see, questions. Stimulating, yes, absolutely. It's gonna be stimulating if that's what you need. Again, trust the energy of your body, right? If you're maybe more in the Ayurvedic science, which I'm not an expert, but I'm familiar with, if you have more of a watery type elemental nature, and you might be more like in the calmer side, more the sedentary side, a little more slower, this may stimulate you and bring balance to that. I have a more fiery nature, and because of that, the brushing feels calming, right? So I think it's a nice balance that it brings to you, and it's good to know that is it ever stimulating, or maybe you do it at night and it's more calming, and if you do it in the morning it's more stimulating. Just play with it, but in general it will stimulate circulation for sure. But I was talking about the nervous system response. Let's see what else is in the chat. Hot flash when I was brushing. Interesting. So it's moving hormonally, something for you. Tingling sensation. Is it bad if we don't shower right after, like reabsorptive? No, it's okay. It's not horrible, and we won't. I mean, I'm not gonna shower now, so we're gonna move on with this and go into the massage. Ideally, you want to shower afterwards. So it's a perfect thing to do pre-shower if you can remember, a couple minutes before, or if you're letting the water warm up, and then you do your brushing, and then get in the shower. It feels enlivening, and I know it's helping to heal. Great, Kate, I love it. You can do the face with a different brush for what I learned, because they don't mix for some reason. So I'm not gonna do the face right now, but you can think also about different directions for the face, more or less the ones we use for massage, right? I am a Feldenkrais practitioner, for those of you that don't know, and Feldenkrais was very eloquent, very clear that there's geometry built in our body. And I say that so I invite you to think of your body geometrically. See where are the shapes, right? Where are the lines? Where are the circles? Everything in our body is circular in a way, rounded. There are no straight lines in the skeleton, but when you look at the geometry of our body, you see these lines. So if you picture your face, you may see lines, and you can use those lines, right? And be experimental a little bit with it and see what feels good. For the face, I would recommend a smaller one, maybe, to take care of more of the delicate areas under the eyes and such. Maria says, I normally exercise a little to get heat in my body, then dry brush and finish with a cold shower, and the way that makes me feel is amazing. That is such a great recipe. So Maria, is a little movement, then it's a dry brushing and cold shower. Woof, I love that. And then it feels like you had a redo for your whole chemistry, right? Inside and out. Wonderful. If you weren't here for my prior 2 massage live sessions, please go to my website and my YouTube channel so you get them, because today we're not gonna specialize on feet and ankles and neck like we did last time, and we're not gonna do a whole body like we did the first time. So you can get those too on my site, my YouTube, my website. But I will repeat from those 2 sessions my technique to keep the oil warm, because I think it's so different. If you never tried hot oil massage or warm oil massage, you will love it. So it's let's say devotional in a way, because it needs 3 steps, but it's okay. It's not a big process, and you will feel the difference. So I get myself a big mug. This is a love mug. A little tin, which was like a camping tin for my children, and I put very, very hot water in a coffee thermos type. Okay, why? Because I want to do the brushing and I want to take the shower, and I don't want to worry about my oil getting cold. That's how important this is for me. So then what do? And I recommend you try this at least once, because it's just fabulous. You pour the very, very hot water into the mug. Okay, you pour your oil into the tin, the cup. This is my Ayurvedic oil. You can see it on my website. My favorite oil, sesame oil, but you can use any good quality oil. Place it gently. It won't get water in it because it will float. And now guess what? Now you have your beautiful oil warm, and will stay warm throughout the duration of the massage. So if anything, this is the best way, and I use it with my clients too when I give them massages in my practice. So we're gonna keep that here. Sometimes you splash a little water, but that's okay. I'm gonna tie my hair. Today we're gonna specialize in shoulders and arms and ribs. I noticed that one of the main complaints, and is the reason why people look for Feldenkrais the most and for my pain relief practices, is shoulder pain, neck, shoulder. There's some bulging that happens on the back that I've seen very commonly for women. Men, especially if they're big and tall, or because of the computer, with all of this getting shorter here in the front and losing some sort of that dignity or royalty or grace when we walk, where we feel like we can walk tall and have our shoulders back and not have any shoulder pain or discomfort. I also see pain on the arms for women, a lot of pain here. Like, what I mean a lot is very common to see pain on the arms, so I want to take care of that area today especially. And lastly, our hands and wrists, because we have such a culture of holding things with our hands, especially the dominant hand. So today we're going to take a lot of time to understand all the intricacies of the hands, wrist, into the arms, the shoulders, towards the neck and the ribs, okay? And I want you to think about this as a way to become, become familiar with your body, to become a friend to your body, to give back to yourself. Sometimes we're strangers to our own bodies. We don't know how we operate or what do we need. So those areas that work the most, that tend to be our shoulders and hands and our feet, deserve a lot of support, deserve a lot of care, because they are there for us all the time, if you think about it. Yeah, so that's why we're gonna take more time today to do that. Also because with the brushing you may feel that this area now gets a little softer and gentle to the touch, so it's perfect. Now it's ready to absorb the hydration of the oil. So by now the oil is completely warm and lovely, and I'm gonna start by putting some on my hands and making sure my hands are really nice and oiled. Maybe I have to put this closer. Okay. So now imagine that the same motion of the brushing towards the heart you're gonna use to spread oil from the hand and towards the heart. Towards the heart. And you begin to familiarize with the shape, with what bends and what doesn't, so the joints. And we're gonna do one side first and then the other. And I want you to feel the difference between having the arm at work, which is the arm is up against gravity and it's kind of doing something, it's trying to move, it's trying to lift, or the arm at rest. So feel that difference. Feel the difference in the tone. If you just keep your hand there passively as a witness and begin to move the arm, feel the difference immediately in how much tone you receive versus the arm just passive. And I'm gonna share with you both how we connect to the nervous system through our hands, like flashlights, and the 3 levels of touch. And if you've done my class before, you know what I mean, so you will review that. So close your eyes now and just let your hand, now that the arm is completely soft and oiled, just let your hand discover the shape of the arm, both at rest, the arm is long, just heavy, or you're moving the arm, and because you're moving it, the bone structure is changing, the tone of the muscle is changing, so you're lifting your arm. And when you close your eyes, because your eyes are so powerful and so used to taking information, now you're sensing in a different way, more internally. And you begin to connect with not so much the skin at this point, but also the muscle and the bone. So you can put a little pressure, go a little deeper. So close your eyes and hold your attention on the sensation, both for the hand that is exploring and giving information, much like shedding light on your brain, on your nervous system, saying here, watch this, but also on the arm that is receiving. And at some point when you feel ready, when it feels safe to you, when it feels nice, just use the hand that is moving, the hand that is massaging, to lift. Lift, meaning hold that side. Hold it completely. Let it hang on your other hand and let it hold, be held. And you can move it a little bit like rocking motion. Lift it as high as you can and hold it and let it hang. Let it be heavy. And just stay there a little bit, breathing into it. And then let it drop, 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 and feel the difference. So we're holding the area that works so hard, the shoulder, and we're gonna move into now discovering back here. There's a bony part that you can use your arms, your fingers to trace, and then there's a space. So see if you can put your fingers in that space. Can you see? Deeper. So now we're going through skin touch, which is just basic contact, to muscle and finding that pressure that allows you to go a little deeper. And then you find the bone. And maybe you have a little tension there. Maybe you have knots, so you can hold, squeeze, breathe, circular motion around any little ball type knot that you feel, or little rocky part, little tense part, sticky part. Circles will release it. And shake that hand that is working hard. Shake it and let it rest. And as you do that, feel any sensation on the arm that is receiving. So right now we have a side that is receiving and a side that is giving. Feel any difference? Come back with the hand closer to the spine. And look for any slack that you can pick, any extra tension there that you can grab and hold. If you find an area that is tight, be kind to it, be patient. You don't have to get rid of any tightness right away, but it's more about identifying, oh look, this is where I hold it. This is where the knots come and form, much like tangled fiber, if you want to think about that. Fiber getting jammed, getting tangled, okay? So now come back to the front. The front is my favorite part because the ribs are there. So I release a lot of my own tension by moving from the ribs, from the heart out and back in. And I'm gonna make it easy for myself by removing this, there. Imagining that there's like a fan type of motion there that is opening, and at the same time letting that side, the whole side, shorten. We're using some Feldenkrais with this, so you're shortening that side, because that's what we do when we tense up. We contract. So go with the movement and then come back and lengthen towards the sky and pull and stretch and move. Remember, this is a drainage type movement, right? Like we did with the brush. So short in the direction of the effort, and then long away from the effort, letting the ribs stretch all the way. So that's the motion of lengthening and contracting. And as you do that towards the front, imagine you're squeezing out. As if you were squeezing toothpaste out of a tube. Tension. And then shake. You can also turn and squeeze. Turn in the direction. If you think about your body, going into that position with the typing or the holding the device, right? It's an internal rotation that Laurie, you can move towards the heart and away from the heart. Both. There's no recipe that is only one or two ways. We can do both. Towards the heart and away from the heart. Yeah. Some massage schools move only in one direction. What I learned is both directions, and it feels really good. My point about the torquing here is a torquing motion is to take the muscle in the direction that it goes when we are bending over, right? So you take not only the muscle, but everything comes with it, right? The tissue, the tendons, the fascia, the bone. So you kind of move in the direction of effort, which is another way to say hold, support first, join first, and then move away and expand and show the shoulder another way, which means also that the blade is going back, the shoulder blade is going back. And you can do this also with eyes closed and open and feel the difference between this, which feels familiar, but it's also, I'm getting tight, I'm getting short, my breath is a little compromised, and that. Or even your face and neck lift. And now I'm not doing this on purpose, guys. I just want to show you the difference. Can you see how much lower this shoulder is? I'm not doing this on purpose, like holding this up. I'm just normally, neutrally sitting here. Can you see that even doing that? Do you see my elbow? Can you see this in your own body, how the side that we are massaging is getting softer and it's getting a little heavier, or maybe lighter and lower, so it's less tense, it's less pulled up. So this is something that I observe a lot when working with people, but it's good for you to feel it on your own. So now come back to the hand, and maybe if you need a little more oil, you can. And these hands, my loves, that work so hard are so excited to receive some tender care. The most important thing is that the hand that is receiving is completely passive. So as much as you can, just let it be heavy, let it be held. And what I'm looking for is the pads here, the pads in the palm, especially around the thumb. So we're all familiar with reflexology, right? And how massaging our feet has this tremendous effect in the whole body. Well, the same thing for our hands. The hands are energy centers. And our thumb especially, because it's what we use all day, is overworked. So please start with the thumb. And even if it hurts, look for the circular movements you can make, going from skin to muscle into finding bone, and see what do you need. Do you need more bone movement? Is arthritis your challenge and these fingers get a little stuck? So move every knuckle. You can move it in circles. Or do you need more muscle softness? Because that's where it's achy, because you're moving that hand all day. And press and hold. I'm pressing with one finger. Press and hold. It's like an acupressure point. And this may hurt, but it's okay, relax. You could have a pillow under your arm if it's hard for you to relax the arm. See that I'm not doing that, I'm not holding up to relax the arm. No, the arm is light, it's relaxed. Okay, now next to it, there's another point. This is what the Tai Chi practitioners call the palace of labor. It increases your energy, your vitality. Lorette is asking, instead of doing a full body massage, would it be disadvantage to only doing arms or feet? What do you think? Absolutely not. It's whatever you need. For sure, if you have the time and you feel like you need a full body massage, go for it. But even just doing hands massage or feet massage alone can be amazing. But again, I give you back the question asking you, what do you need today? And that's the best thing to do. And if you don't know what you need, perhaps looking at the areas of your body that work the hardest and they are most eager to receive the support. It's too long to do a full body massage sometimes, yeah. I'm showing you that I'm pressing both in the front and in the back and holding. And this may hurt a little, so breathe through it, but this will release a lot of tension and activate a lot of energy, activity, circulation of chi. Lori, if your hand is aching, stop. Stop immediately. No worries, no worries. If it's aching because we're pressing on a pressure point, it's different. But if the hand itself, the one that is giving is aching, just take more breaks. Because you're not used to moving it, it's like exercise. Gently now, I want to show you the movement between the fingers. Again, looking at geometry and picturing the 5 lines of your fingers, and in the front and in the back. And I'm doing both. I'm going through the skin and the muscle with the softer touch, softening any tension there. I find especially here a lot of tension for people when I massage them. And I'm looking for bone, and I'm looking that every knuckle, each knuckle is free from the other one. Every knuckle is independent from one another, kind of like the hand of a pianist. Okay? If you do this with eyes closed, it's extremely calming and relaxing, and it can put you to sleep or into semi-sleep. Same thing with the wrist. If you ever look at a skeleton, there's so many tiny little bones here that we don't get to move independently. So see if you can create a little independent movement there, and just soft bending. So the hand that is working, always grabbing, is now passive and is being moved by the other hand. This can feel really good. And then a little bit of side to side movement. Side to side movement. Side to side movement. And especially if you work a lot with your hands, this may feel amazing. So now let the hand rest. Go inside again for a moment, within, and feel the difference between that hand and the other one. The hand that received. Touch one hand with the other one. Feel the difference. And now separate your hands a little bit and feel the electromagnetic field between both hands. Right? It's all around your body. You may feel it like a warmth or a tingling. And now take that and move at that level. So we went from bone to muscle to skin and vice versa. And now we're moving the energy around, just the electromagnetic field around. And picture some sort of cleansing, wiping. Very useful if you are in contact with a lot of people. You can gently brush, but it works outside of your body just as much. Okay? Your throat. And feel that hand. And who feels the difference? I'd be curious before we do the other side. What is the difference? Is it more alive, the arm that is receiving? There's so much more we could do with it, but I'm gonna stick to that because some other movements I covered in the other classes, like movements inside the lower arm, But even just that much, what is the difference? This is very powerful, says Lorette. Yes, can you feel more on the energetic side? Beautiful. Amazing. So now as we do the second side, we're going to use something we call beginner's mind. What is beginner's mind? Beginner's mind is not expecting to receive the same result, but to be open to what is possible. To be open to what can I know on this side that I didn't know on the other. So let's do this. Have your, getting these things out of the way. So have your oil ready. And like the idea is to begin exploring with beginner's mind, not as if we know already what's going to happen, but being open and available to discover what is possible on this side. So now I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, and as you spread the oil on your skin, to ask yourself, how do I like to be touched? What do I need in this moment? Do I need support? Hold. It's okay. Just hold. Be still and hold. How do I want to be touched? Do I like a firm squeeze that makes me feel I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm seen, I'm okay? So play with this. This is a very powerful way to work with massage, with self-touch. How do I like to be touched? Is it a gentle caressing that simply makes me feel that I'm in contact with myself, that I see myself, that I can like myself, I can love myself? So this might be easier with closed eyes, but it's a very, very powerful way to begin a massage. So it's not a recipe, or now I do the arm and then I do the shoulder and then I do the neck, but it's more about, what do I need today? Did I have a long day and I just simply need to be held? Let's do that first. You see the difference, guys? Or I'm really full of tension in this right arm because I've been typing all day, so now I'm gonna squeeze the tension out of my arm and squeeze all that charge of typing non-stop, of holding, of cooking, of gardening. What do I need? Yeah? Or perhaps I just need a little light cleanse and get that stickiness out first, and then I can do the rest. Okay? So it's not a technique, it's more about the connection that we begin to create. And on the other side of connection is trust. So your body receives the signal that you are listening to what you need. Okay? So now, since we already did this hand may feel very supple and knowledgeable and free and ready, so you can explore a little deeper once you know what you need, all the different little tricks that I show you on the other side. And by deeper I mean with more precision, with more knowledge, with more ability, reminding yourself that it all serves a purpose. It's not just because, right? So when we do the squeezing here, the turning, what we're telling the nervous system is, look, I know that all day you're doing this, you're typing, you're holding, you're cooking, you're gardening, you're forward moving, you're bent over. So I'm gonna take you in that direction. It's okay. No worries. I got you. That's what you're telling your whole brain, which commands the muscular skeletal system, and the muscle has some way of receiving that support and feeling, great, nice, thanks, somebody's supporting that which I do all day by myself, and then guess what? It frees itself for a new alternative. So now when you take it away, when you take it out, when you take it to more openness, it's easier to do. Open after you support it. Not like, oh, I have bad posture, I'm gonna fix my posture by over contracting and over opening, and then I get pain on the back. No, it's more about, let me hold, support, take in the direction of, and then with that freedom find a new position and find a new way to maybe lift the sternum up a little bit. Okay, so now think of the ribs as radiating from the sternum and towards the arm, the ribs on both sides, like a basket, flexible and free. And the same idea that we did before, we held short, and then looking for the circular motion around the armpit and lengthening, or lengthening. And on this side also, we didn't do it on the first side, but on this side we can take away some of the tension that we hold in the joints of the elbow. So typically on the second side you will do a little more than on the first one. You can go a little more in depth or a little more detail. So circle around the elbow, circle around the wrist, and circle around the shoulder. So picturing the shoulder like a round joint, though it's not round, but the arm moves in circles. So think of all that circular motion possible. All the way up into the neck. And the area in between the neck and the shoulder here that gets very tight. Little circles there. Yeah. Squeeze out. This is where it gets really painful for us when we overdo motion. So here, squeeze out all the way. And if this is your dominant arm, you may want to spend a little more time even on it. You may want to do the movement in between the two bones of the lower arm, because that's the other one that gets really tight when you rotate so much. And when you get to the hand, if this is your dominant arm especially, thinking, wow, this hand really does a lot, really spends so much time grabbing, holding, writing, typing, cooking. So again, what do you need, hand? How can I best support you? So there's the movement of the knuckles, where each bone gets a little moment. And by the way, if you don't have arthritis yet, which hopefully you don't, this can be such a good preventive treatment for yourself. So for those of you that were saying, no, I don't have so much time to do a whole body massage, well, just do your hands at night before bed or after a day in the garden or cooking. A client of mine, friend of mine, said the other day, oh, I just did your feet lesson from YouTube and I just went out to the garden and my feet are so happy. So she was gonna be on her feet a lot, and she did the massage before to get her feet ready, right? So that's perfect. Thinking about the lines on the hand, the 5 lines, and how you want to, again, create that combination of support, freedom, and then discover where is the area where you can press to relieve tension. So for me, it's right here in between the thumb and the big and the index, right there, the palace of labor. This is an activating acupressure point where you press on, you get more vital life, vital force, more like energy. If you're apathic and lethargic and you don't want to do anything, just press on this point, press on it, and you will get a jolt of energy. You might feel it moving something inside your hand towards the arm. I'm feeling it right now, probably because this is my dominant side and I needed more here. I need more of that release, activation, release. So on this side, just because, again, we're doing more on the second side, you can do, put the thumb inside the hand and just do circles, just little circles. And move your wrist in all directions. And notice that I'm holding with the other side and I'm holding with my knee. And why am I doing this? So my skeleton is supporting myself, so I don't have to hold up against gravity. Circles in both directions, and then a little movement left and right. So this is a combination of massage and softening the tissue, the tension in the fascia, the muscle, all that, but also skeletal movement. And with the skeletal movement, you get freedom in all directions. So once you relax and soften, then what? Then use the movement to align your skeleton, to free it and align it in all different ways. So when you move your hand in all directions, you're taking care of the most common direction, say this, which is what creates the carpal tunnel, but also you do left and right, which is a more unusual movement, and you're freeing up the tendons to go in that direction too. Same with something like this, which is a martial arts warm-up, but I wouldn't do it to begin with. I would do it now towards the end where we have all this already warmed up. Make sense? And now feel the difference. Now take your time, warm yourself up, because we're gonna feel the difference in the whole body. Not just in the areas that we massage, but in the whole upper body, lower body, since we started to now. Yeah, Loretta, the point is here. The point is between the thumb. If you're looking at it from the front, can you see? And from the back. It's in that soft area between the thumb pad and the index. And you know, you will feel that you're right on it, because when you press on it, it's kind of tender. You might feel a little, not painful, but like something's there. Okay, so now we brushed our whole body. If you weren't here from the beginning, that's what we did at the start, and hopefully I can record this and post it on my YouTube. So we airbrushed the whole body. And we massaged the arms into the shoulders and the neck and the ribs and the sternum. And now I will ask you to take a moment with me before we finish the session and ponder, wonder, be curious about the most important thing that I want to share with you, which is more than technique. It's more than use this for that or do it this way. It's about checking in with yourself. What do I need today? And how can I give it to myself? Right? So if this is new to you, please take a moment to integrate it, because once you make it yours, you won't forget it. Once it's true to you, you will remember it. So if you're familiar with this, we found another way to practice it, and thank you for practicing with me. And if this is new to you, this is the most important piece that I want to share. So take a moment and integrate it in any way that feels right to you. Either just thinking about it, wow, that's interesting, or bringing it into your heart and making it new knowledge. And think and feel, what is on the other side of that? What if you could really check in? What do I need today? How do I give myself that? How does this make me feel? Do I want to do more of that? How would it feel if this was easy? How would I feel if I could do it all in a way that is flowing and effortless and with much support? It's a very good balance for the struggle and for the challenge and the suffering that sometimes is common nature or commonplace in these days and times. So with that, my loves, I shared everything I had for today. I would love to hear from you. How are you? How did it feel? Do you have any questions? Put them in the chat and we can have a little conversation before we go. If you haven't followed the page, please do. If you can make a donation, please do. If you want to come back, I have another live next Saturday at the same time. And just open to listen and receive whatever's in your heart. How did you like the session today? It was a combination of information and practice. How did you like it? Oh, thank you, Kate. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really love what I do. Thank you for your donation, Laurie. Very much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. Oh, Lorette, beautiful. Thank you for saying that. It's like discovering another aspect of self-love. Yes. And you know why that's so relevant and meaningful to me? Because I know that that's the number one lesson. That if I leave this earth, I have 2 daughters. That's the one thing I would like them to know, for sure, is how to do that. But at the same time, it's so tricky, right? You hear it all the time. Self-love is the number one thing. Love yourself. But how? How do I do it? So in times like this, when we have a very concrete way to do that, and for me sometimes, to be honest with you, 100%, because I work with people one-on-one and in groups, and sometimes I see and witness and support people through a lot of heaviness, of trauma, of pain, discomfort, whatever it is. Sometimes at the end of the day, all I personally need is to cleanse myself, and I won't even do the massage. I will just do the cleansing, right? Energetic cleansing of my whole body. I do it like that throughout my whole body, and I take a shower and I hold myself. And I hold myself in the knowing that I'm of service for others and that I have what it takes to hold as much as is needed, to hold space for all that people need to transform, to release, to heal. And in that holding, I feel the support that is everywhere, that support of unconditional love. So I give you these things not because I read them in a book or because, it's popular or trendy. It's because it works. It increases your capacity to love yourself in your highest purpose, in your highest service, and to receive that support from within. So I'm so happy that you saw that and felt that, Lorena, that this is yet one more way, very practical way to access the infinite love and support for yourself that is everywhere. But sometimes it's hard to feel, right? And especially if you're doing this in a safe space, let's say it's a warm room or your bathroom or your bedroom, and you can be fully naked and you can take time to observe and feel and care for your body and receive that and say to yourself, wow, I appreciate your body everything you do. And then you can overcome the things that are not working so well for you, that are aching or not fully functional as they were years ago, and look for more ways to support and improve and get more healing available for yourself. And who gives you praise, right? Who tells you, you're amazing, you're doing great, every day is getting better, great job doing your workout or drinking your water or being grateful or being kind to others. No one does that. And yet you can do that for yourself. And this is a very simple way to do that, if that's your intention. Okay, guys? Sorry for the long response, but that's why it feels to me when you say another way of self-love. Thank you, guys. I'm glad you like it. I'm reading the comments. Thank you so much for your donations. Lorette, Libby, Lori, thank you. Judith, thank you. It felt so healing and hopeful to have tools to support my ongoing struggles with Lyme disease. Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh, my email. I could maybe write my email in the chat. Let me try. Diana, breathe. Oops. Thank you so much for wanting to send a donation. So that's my email, dianabreathe@gmail.com. I don't know that I can type the whole email. There's some limitations to sharing links and things, but that's my email, dianabreathe@gmail.com. What else? Somebody said something about supporting yourself. I want to read that. It makes me cry in a sense of relief knowing I can support myself better. Oh, honey, yes. And as we do it together, and that's why I come back for more, because it feels like as we do these practices in community, it's much easier to see them as a way to support yourself better and not, oh, I will use all that time in this extra thing. I already do too many things in the day, right? How am I gonna find more time to now give myself a massage? Like, oh, feels like selfish or vain, and it's not at all. So I feel when we do these things together, they become more normalized. And if you have an area of your body that somebody said the other day, well, I can't massage my foot up here because I cannot lift my foot so high. There's a limitation in their hip or their belly. And I said, well, put a pillow underneath or two and then let the pillow support your foot, so you don't have to do it. So those are the things that if you weren't doing it in community and weren't sharing it, you would feel something's wrong with you. I'm the one that cannot lift the foot, right? But as we do it together, we begin to share, and I always open the chat for you to share, so we troubleshoot things, and it becomes a lived experience that is shared, and is much different. So you don't feel that you're the only one that can't or feels this way, and it feels that is a nice way to connect not only to one another as we do it together, also to connect to our deepest needs and honor them. And give ourselves a chance to say, yeah, today actually I'm really tired, so I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna watch you guys do it, and support you from my heart. But I'm really tired today, so can you massage my back today? I did that the other day with my daughter. It felt really good. What else? Amazing session. It has made me realize the importance of connecting and loving our bodies. Yes, Maria, it's so important. We live in an age of extreme hardship when it comes to that. It used to be eating disorders. And I dare to say in these days, with all this social media explosion and some self-care trending that is about selling you more products, right? The latest cream, the latest this and that. I see it with my own children, how that is being fed to us, pushed to us. It feels as if between all of that, the marketing and the comparison, this body better than my body, look at what she can do, look at what she can wear, or he can do, or he can wear, the abdomen, this and that. It feels that we're losing the grip of the reality of our own body. And yes, we want to be healthy, strong, we want to stay fit, and we work with what we have, and it's okay. And to really again normalize that after you have a baby, there's skin, there's extra skin on your belly. It is, you know. After you have a certain age, there's some movements that are not possible, so you feel tightness, you feel limitation, maybe your hamstrings, maybe. And it's not that you can't overcome that, definitely you can, but as you notice that, as you prepare to overcome that, say, okay, it's time to get more fit. Not judge yourself. Avoid hating yourself. Avoid dishonoring yourself, and look for ways to accept, this is where I found myself now, what do I do? So that's a way of connecting to your body and loving your body exactly as you are, knowing that there's always room for improvement if that's what you want. Every day can get a little better. Every day a little better in every way. Thank you guys so much. Any questions, comments, anything else before we part? Thank you for all the love. You guys are amazing. Next Saturday at 11, same time, I planned to have a session on self-healing. So we're gonna take basically all these principles, all this share that I had for you today, and apply it to healing ourselves. And I'm going to talk a little bit about epigenetics, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how we can program our body, both from the cellular standpoint, right? How to talk to ourselves, how to talk to our inner intelligence and instruct it. The same way you say to yourself, oh, I'm too old to do this, and immediately you feel old and tired. Or you say, oh, I can't go up the stairs, or I can't run anymore, or oh, I don't dance, right? All these things we program ourselves to not do. We can also program ourselves to do. I'm going to talk about it from the point of view of quantum science, but also from fitness training, and something that I experienced myself when I became an instructor to teach people how to get into ice baths and very hot saunas. And you can read that about that if you want to, but it's basically the principle of mind over matter, and how we are not just physical matter. Our minds also instruct our bodies in what is okay and what is possible, and how to adapt to practically anything. So combining those two, that we are coachable, we are adaptable, we can withstand things that we didn't think that were possible, like breath holds and not breathing for a couple minutes, or getting into very cold water or very hot sauna, and also take that as an opportunity to say, well, if I can adapt to that and my body will listen to my instruction. Number one thing we do when we get in the very cold ice is we tell our bodies, this is home. This is home. This is where I am. This is where I live. We're okay. And your body is fine. 6 minutes, totally fine. So if we can do that, what else can we do with that same ability? So we're going to look at some beliefs that we created around chronic situations and see if we can utilize that power to create at least the hope, at least the possibility that there's a change possible, if that's what we want, if that is for our highest good. So I'm going to share what I learned from Joe Dispenza and the research that I'm looking into right now into quantum physics applied to the body, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. So come back next Saturday at 11. Erica says, I could use more work on the jaw. Do you have plans for a session? Erica, have you done my jaw and pelvis session? That's on YouTube. And that is really good and beneficial, because really for the jaw, except for if you want massage for the jaw, I can send you to the YouTube and my website for the self-massage classes. But really, to get the most benefit for the jaw, you want to take the time to do a Feldenkrais lesson and do the alignment work. Otherwise, I can give you just little tips like don't clench or or notice if you're clenching hold. But really, I would recommend go first, do the jaw and pelvis one on my YouTube channel. That's been very popular. And also look at the self-massage. I think the master class that's on my website, on my homepage, we did a lot of nice work with the jaw. But every time I did massage, I did something with the jaw. So both of them have it. Okay, my loves. Thank you, Maria. Yes, I will see you next Saturday. It will be a short one. I have to end really on time next Saturday because I have a commitment. So it will be from 11 to maybe 45 minutes to 50 minutes. And then we end on time. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Okay, loves, it's been a pleasure. I'm always honored to share time with you, to show you from the bottom of my heart that more love is possible. And as we hold this frequency, as we hold this awareness that there's more love possible for ourselves, it has no other way but to spread out. It's like if you pour in water in a cup and it comes a time where you pour so much that it just spills over. That's basically how we do it. So come back for more if you liked it, and bring somebody. Not only because it will be fun for you to connect with somebody in the chat that you know, but share. If you liked it, if you find some of what I shared useful, maybe somebody else in your circle, in your life, can use it too. So maybe a friend, a colleague, a family member. It is my mission to impact as many people as I can. So I have to ask you to share so we can bring more people towards this knowledge. And eventually you will just be able to check in with your friend and say, oh, what do you like better? Massaging your neck or your feet? Or what did you find that is most useful after a long day of work and whatnot? And you're now sharing a common language. It's the language of love and the language of self-care. And I think it creates a very good ripple all around us. Thank you so much, Maria, for your contribution. I really appreciate it. Okay, honeys, it's time to go. So, this big hug for you. I will see you next Saturday. In the meantime, much love. Be well, okay? Bye, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.